Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and shout out to Aura for sponsoring today's video, an all-in-one digital safety tool that you can get started today with a 14-day free trial. Just go to aura.com/chatsports. They'll hook you up. They'll help you protect yourself online because we do more online now than ever, and we'll tell you more about Aura later on in the show. But if you want to get started with them, aura.com/chatsports. I'll have the link to that in the comment section in the description of this video. But to get started with today's show, we're going to talk about Nerlens Noel, and then on the back end, we'll talk about Mo Bamba being a potential Mitchell Robinson replacement. But first, Nerlens Noel. The rumors are out there that the Knicks have been shopping Noel, and as we inch closer to the NBA draft and NBA free agency, it seems like Nerlens Noel has played his last game as a New York Knick. He's just 28 years old, and he signed that 3-year, $27 million contract extension last year during the NBA free agency cycle. So he has 2 years left, but there's also a player option for that last year. So could he be used as an expiring contract in a trade? The main reason the Knicks want to move off of him, honestly, is just the injuries that continue to stack up for Nerlens throughout his Knicks tenure. Last year, he played in just 25 games, and that's a problem. You pay someone $9 million per year, you need to play more basketball games than that. And Jake Fisher, he reported on the Nerlens Noel trade rumors and said this: I have heard that Nerlens Noel is one of the players that the Knicks are the most active in discussing right now when it comes to making a trade. And that makes sense because it's really going to be, we've talked a lot about it being the summer of point guards, not summer of Jones for the Knicks, but point guards. But I really think it's going to be just as much of the summer of centers because Mitchell Robinson is a restricted free agent. If you trade Nerlens Noel, you're going to have to get a replacement. If you trade Noel and you lose out on Mitchell Robinson in NBA free agency, you're going to have to find two replacements to go with Jericho Sims and Taj Gibson. When you look at what Noel did in his 2 years, with the Knicks, he averaged 4.5 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks per game. This is someone that shot 60% from the field. I like Nerlens as a defender, but the thing is, the best ability in any sport is availability. And the fact he only logged 89 games played in 2 seasons with the New York Knicks isn't going to get him another contract extension, and it looks like it has him on his way out the door as Leon Rose is ready to move on and already shopping, reportedly, Nerlens Noel in trades. If injuries were turned off, a healthy Nerlens would be a great fit on this team because in a vacuum, and you know, take out injuries, turn injuries off, NBA 2K style, he does everything you really want in a big that comes off the bench. He's a good rim defender. He's a solid player in pick and rolls. He can catch backdoor alley-oops. He's also a really good defender in a switch scenario in a pick and roll. He can guard perimeter players on the perimeter and on the three-point line better than a lot of centers in the NBA. He's a good defender. He's twitchy. He's 7 foot. He blocks shots. He rebounds. He plays hard. But if you only play hard for 25 games a year, you're not going to be a part of any NBA franchise for a very long time. So before we get to those Mo Bamba rumors, I want to ask you guys this question. Should the Knicks trade Nerlens Noel? The report is they're shopping him, but I want to ask the Knicks fans watching this video because they have a better understanding of this roster's makeup than Jake Fisher over at Bleacher Report. Type T for trade if you think the Knicks should trade Noel, or if you want to hold on to him, you can type P for pass. One thing you for sure want to get hooked up with is Aura. Go to aura.com/chatsports because they provide financial fraud protection, identity theft protection, online, as well as device security, and family plans to protect up to 5 people. And like we said, you can get started with a 14-day free trial. So try it out. See if you like it. Because look, you know what you're not going to like is someone stealing your identity or stealing or logging in or hacking your bank account because the scammers and the frauds, they are getting smarter every single day. So stay on top of your online security as well as your families. Go to aura.com/chatsports and get hooked up with a 14-day free trial that you can cancel at any time. Story number 2 in today's show. Mo Bamba. Should the Knicks sign him in NBA free agency? If you trade Nerlens Noel and you miss out on re-signing Mitchell Robinson, you're going to have to do something. Mo Bamba is still just 24 years old, and he was a top 5 pick in the NBA draft just a couple of seasons ago. He will be a restricted free agent, so if the Magic want to match a contract sheet that the Knicks sign him to, they can do that. But I feel like when you already have Jonathan Isaac, Wendell Carter, and Franz Wagner, there's some reason that I believe that the Magic, if he signs a big offer sheet, are not going to be able to or willing to pay Mo Bamba the big bucks. Also, he's from New York. He's from Harlem. And he's also a Knicks fan, and he was recruiting Donovan Mitchell on Instagram Live just the other day ago about coming to the New York Knicks. You can see the picture on screen. He says, come home. And then a couple of seconds later, he said, to the Knicks. So Mo Bamba is already recruiting Donovan Mitchell to come and play for the New York Knicks. Even though he's not a part of the team, this makes me feel like Mo Bamba wants to sign with the blue and orange in NBA free agency, and I'd be down for that. Because when you look at what he did last year for the Orlando Magic, it was his best season in the NBA by far. Fourth season in the NBA, and he finally started to hit his stride. He averaged over 10 points per game, almost 11 points per night, 8 rebounds, 1.7 blocks per game, and my favorite part about what he brings to the basketball floor is he shot threes at a 38% clip. When you're 7 foot and you have a 7'10" wingspan and you average almost 2 blocks per night, as well as being able to shoot 38% from three in 71 games this year and 25 minutes per night, you're going to have a very long career in the NBA, and that's where we're going. Block shots and space the floor, and Mo Bamba is the perfect fit for the New York Knicks, in my opinion. But I'll leave it up to you. Knicks fans, sound off, be loud, be proud. That's what we like to do as New Yorkers. Pick one of these guys as the starting center for the New York Knicks next year. If you think Mo Bamba's the guy, type MB. Or if you think Mitchell Robinson's the guy to be the starting center for the future, you can go down and type M Robinson. Or MR for Mitchell Robinson. Screwed that one up. In my opinion, Bamba would be an ideal Mitchell Robinson replacement because he does a lot of the same things that Robinson does. He protects the rim. He can catch alley-oops. He's young. He's uber athletic. He's someone that brings a defensive intensity and defensive mindset to this basketball team. But give me Mo Bamba over Mitchell Robinson, because when you're a 7-footer with a 7'10" wingspan that protects the rim and can stretch the floor on the offensive side of the basketball court, sign me up. That's what we want. We want hyper-athletic players that can defend multiple positions and stretch the floor on the offensive side of the court. That way you can, if you don't trade him, you can play Julius Randle and Mo Bamba together at the 4 and 5. The paint won't be clogged with Bamba on the court. You can also run a pick and pop with Bamba and R.J. Barrett. I think he fits the nucleus of this team. He would fit right in. He's what you want in a modern-day big. Mo Bamba would be an absolute perfect replacement if Mitchell Robinson signs elsewhere in NBA free agency. And look, with free agency almost here, I promise you're going to want to tap in and join New York Knicks Now over here at Chat Sports. Hit that big red button, because I promise you no other Knicks channel is going to cover the NBA draft like we will, or NBA free agency. In the NBA draft, once the Knicks make a pick, we'll get a video out, and then we'll wrap up the NBA draft with a draft grades video, which popped off last year. I know you guys are ready for it. So hit that big red button and become one of us. One of us.